Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, man, we got a video by Swish Out titled Everything the 2022 NBA season is proving so far, which is going to be so interesting, man, because this season has had just a lot of different, unique storylines, it feels like. But before we get going on today's video, I want you guys to know over on my main channel, Crispy Flakes, for 2 years now, I've been trying to think of, new ways to bring, the NBA discussion to my channel. And I think I finally found, a format that I really like. So if you do get a chance, check out the main channel, Crispy Flakes. Check out my latest Pacers video. And yeah, man, just give it a shot because I'm really trying to grow that channel some more over there too. But let's go ahead and get going on this. Everything the 2022 NBA season is proving so far, man. Things can change very quickly.
From winning the championship. Now you've got a little bit of time to reflect on that moment being the 2021 NBA Finals. What are you going to take from that experience to help you grow as a hooper?
I don't know. It was tough. It was tough,
especially that late. Yep.
That close and coming up short, but I think
that late in your career too.
I already had this unbelievable chip on my shoulder, this drive or whatnot.
Fortunately, not a championship. I'm sorry, I said it. Sorry.
You know what I mean? If you ever needed something else to get you going just a little bit more, this was it.
Man, it makes you kind of bad.
Definitely felt like the Cinderella story of the league. Just over one calendar year ago, Chris Paul winded up in Phoenix.
Ricky Rubio on the Thunder. Who remembers?
I legit remember the masses' opinion on this move, including myself. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's exciting for Phoenix, but we wanted Chris Paul to finish his career on a contender, and we didn't think Phoenix was quite that. Boy, were we wrong. Since joining the Phoenix Suns going back last year.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
Phoenix has the highest winning percentage of any team in that
70 and 25. Wow. 68 wins for CP3. Second to Mikal Bridges. 12-4 against the West last playoffs. Made the NBA Finals. Yep.
Chris Paul is only second to his own teammate in total wins in that time span, and for the most part, they coasted to the NBA Finals.
Mikal Bridges is the GOAT.
But since the Golden State Cavaliers era ended, we've seen a common theme with new teams making the NBA Finals. It's normally followed up by a massive letdown the following season. Toronto 2 years ago caught fire, got a little lucky, and they won their first NBA championship. But just only 2 weeks after winning their first ever NBA championship, they lost their finals MVP.
That's all right.
So
they got the ring, though.
Bittersweet.
They got the ring.
1 year after that, they lost core essential pieces to that run. 1 year after that, they lost their best player in franchise history. And now, fast forwarding it up to right now, they're
Scotty.
in a whole ass rebuild.
I love Scotty.
This is only 2 years ago. The Lakers literally won their championship 14 months ago. Only 5 players remain on that team right now, and 2 of them had to come back this year. Miami caught fire in the bubble, surprised.
Why do players leave after they win a ring?
Finals.
It's crazy.
And the following season, they get swept in the first round by a team they just beat in 5. All these recent inconsistencies make...
You think players get annoyed with each other? Because obviously win a championship, I mean, you gotta dig deep, deeper than you've ever dug before. And I could see where maybe you just after that stressful run, you just need a change of pace or a change of scenario. They don't really talk about that though.
It's hard to take a pretty young team like Phoenix serious long term. But this year so far, they've debunked all those narratives, all those storylines, and to be honest,
their team is sick.
It's not true. They're the exact same, and in fact, I think they're even better. After starting 1-3, they just won 17 straight games by an average margin of 11 points.
Damn, man.
6 in both offensive rating and defensive rating. Chris Paul and Devin Booker have solidified themselves as the best current backcourt in the league. Mikal Bridges is the best on-ball defender in the league this year, and DeAndre Ayton is proving game after game after game why he should be paid. Listen, and I've said this before.
Well, I always pick
I don't
number
think
1.
He's as offensively polished as a Joel Embiid, a Nikola Jokic, or even a Cat. But when you look around the West and who's truly a contender, they have every single reason to pay DeAndre Ayton. The best center,
and plus he doesn't need to be that guy at the center position. I mean, all 3 of those guys he just listed, Jokic, Embiid, and Cat. It's 2 out of the 3 are good NBA teams. But I mean, it hasn't led to winning anything yet. I guess in this case they haven't won anything yet either. But I don't know. I don't know if you need that MVP caliber center anymore to really be a dominant basketball team.
The league. and the current MVP.
Like what DeAndre does is just,
we seen
it's
last
fine.
year, the best way to
cool.
somewhat manage his production and their success is to abuse him on his weakest side. Chris Paul had arguably the greatest series of his career last year against Denver, constantly putting
26,
Jokic in
11,
pick and rolls
5.
and exploiting that mismatch. Also, the Lakers, that's a team that tends to run extremely big lineups, and they do have Anthony Davis. Also, the other current best team in the West right now, the Golden State Warriors. Styles make fights, and the Warriors play best with the small ball lineup. Their one weakness, in my opinion, is the lack of defensive versatility from a true big. James Wiseman, he's coming back and all that, but I think
gotta get Miles Turner
used by Chris Paul and Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton in the pick and roll.
Need to get
Draymond Green
Miles
is great,
Turner.
versatile defensively and all that, but he's 6'6", 6'7". At some point, that's going to hurt him. The Phoenix Suns really have a great chance at another finals appearance barring any major injuries, and depending on how Klay looks coming back, they might just be the favorites. LeBron James is no longer Iron Man. That stage of his career is officially over.
Which is
This
okay.
may be a little depressing because we are witnessing the end of arguably the greatest player to ever play this game, but it's just a reality.
LeBron James retiring from the NBA is going to be like the weirdest day of my life as a basketball fan, because literally the year I got into basketball is like when LeBron was drafted. And just to see like, you know, a young teenager grow into like a 40-year-old man over the years and retire, it's just, I don't know, I don't know, man. Feels
This
weird.
season,
Feels weird.
LeBron has already
If
missed
you're a
more
young blood,
than
you'll know
half
someday.
of the games.
When, like,
More
Luka
than
retires or
half.
something.
Bro, we're only 23 games in. Do you know, since LeBron joined the Lakers in 2018, tonight is going to make his 71st game missed in a 4-year span. Before
Wow.
LeBron went to LA, do you know how many games he missed in a 15-year span? 71 games.
Oh!
That's an average of 77
I said 7.
games per year prior to joining the Lakers. Plus, in that
So I
span
wasn't
that I
even
just
close,
named,
but-
he played an additional 239 playoff games without missing one start. That's an average of an extra 15 games added per year, which in essence, this man averaged at least a conference finals appearance every single time he made the playoffs.
Who's he going to
That's
pass the torch
crazy.
to?
And this man made 8 straight finals appearances, as we all know. Again, crazy. But now these injuries are starting to happen a lot more frequently, and that's obviously the accumulation of all those games I just named. And the staggering part to me that's actually a little bit concerning, it's not like it's just one spot on his body. It's starting to spread throughout his body.
Damn
The
groin,
groin,
though.
The ankle, the abdominal problems now. Like, it's concerning. LeBron James has the 4th most regular season minutes played of all time. But even me saying,
Do you guys think that LeBron has the ego to like take a lesser role on a basketball team? Like, could you see him being like later, like even later in his career, like when he's like 39, can you see him like accepting being like a 3rd or 4th option? Or do you just think that's just not possible? Because really, like to really prolong his career even more, he's going to have to get on a team where he can do that and they can be successful with doing that too. Because I do think the Lakers are built as LeBron's team, not necessarily as a team that can like carry, obviously, you know, like when he doesn't play and everything.
that still feels like I'm robbing you of the whole story. It really tells nothing. I just detailed the crazy playoff streaks this man had along his career. When you include that, it tells a completely different story.
I want him back
If
on
you
the
combine
Cavs.
the two, regular season minutes plus the playoff minutes, LeBron has played the 2nd most minutes ever, and he's damn near 2,000 more
On
minutes
Kareem.
cleared of the 2nd best player as far as the playoffs, Tim Duncan. Tim
Wow.
Duncan is 2nd as far as playoff minutes played with 9,400. But Tim Duncan's Hall of Fame coach invented load management. So despite playing 19 seasons a la LeBron right now, he still has 3K less regular season minutes played. So yeah, this is just a breakdown as to what exactly his body might be going through and a little bit of context as to why this man is human. It almost feels like after that last season in
wrong with his
Cleveland
eye?
where he
Y'all see
played
that?
all 82 games plus 22 extra playoff games that included coming back to win 2 Game 7s, it's like he sacrificed the rest of his career's health. So Cleveland, yeah, bro, y'all better love that man forever. He gave y'all everything he had. Stephen
Literally had Cavs fans coming at me too, saying like, cause I talked about LeBron going back to the Cavs, and like some were like, yes, bring him back, and others were just like, we don't want him anymore. It's like, why would you not want LeBron back on your
Curry
team?
was never, and I mean never, just a product of what surrounded him. Not to trash Nick Wright, because I actually like him. I know some people don't, but I actually appreciate some of his takes. But I still will never forget the day that this man went on TV and said this after 2 games.
The counterpoint is this. Steph has never needed to do that. What Russ had to do the year KD left or the year KD was injured. What Harden had to do his first year in Houston and the year before they got Chris Paul in Houston, which is be an offense unto himself. Say, listen, can't win a title, but we're going to get to 45 wins plus. We're going to get to the playoffs, and it's going to be...
Okay, so like 2 or 3 years ago, I went through like a really like edgy NBA take phase. It was horrible. It was just stupid. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. And I got roasted by the entire world of NBA Twitter and the NBA community and the 2K community for saying something along the lines of like, if you replaced Steph Curry with Kemba Walker during the championship days, they would have still been just as good. And that's to the day. I will die with that being the worst possible take I could have ever made. Nothing against Kemba Walker. He's on the Hornets. He was fine and everything like that. But damn, I don't know what I was thinking when I said that. Complete disrespect. I do apologize to Warrior and Steph Curry fans and to myself and anybody that had to witness that it was about 2 or 3 years ago now.
All through me. Steph's never had
It was
to
horrible.
do that.
I do not forgive myself.
And what I feel
cannot sleep at night still over that take.
we're going to find out this year is that's very good because he can't.
Okay. There we go.
This was actually starting to become the ongoing notion of Stephen Curry as he sat out for that one season. Also, what seemed to intensify this narrative is when they constantly tried to replace this man with Dame. And I love Dame, but it was never legitimate. Dame had just made the Western Conference Finals the year prior. He hit that crazy shot.
What does Flight say? Dame's his
and he followed that up with the
Steph's
best
son,
season
right?
of his career while Steph was absent. So of course, people they ran with that. This
Love
made
that, though.
Kenny
Love that.
Smith, who should know better, Nick Wright, and most definitely social media, they started to question the validity of Stephen Curry's ability to lead a team by himself, quote unquote, like anybody ever does that. Well, since all that BS has been said, Stephen Curry has led the league in scoring going back to last season.
He's this year's
has nearly
MVP.
Doubled the 40-point-plus game since returning, doubled the 50-plus point game since returning, and literally came back and redominated. I had to make up a word for this one. Redominated.
Dame zero.
Dame.
Damn.
Mind you,
Going in on
Curry
Dame.
literally played Dame in the Western Conference Finals when it was just backcourt versus backcourt without Kevin Durant, and it was somewhat even, and he swept him. So no disrespect to Dame, this is just the facts. Also, there was the narrative that Klay Thompson saving Stephen Curry's ass on defense by guarding the opposing team's best guard that contributed heavily to Stephen Curry's success. Plus, the spacing Klay Thompson adds to an already
Definitely doesn't hurt, but
and yeah, that's true. That's why we call it the greatest backcourt of all time.
Yep.
But who cares? Did we ever chastise Michael Jordan for Scottie Pippen basically being the one that shut down Magic Johnson in his first NBA championship?
Sadly, some people do. But yeah, like Klay Thompson being amazing doesn't take away from Steph Curry. So I definitely agree with that. I've never really understood takes like that. But yeah,
Just appreciate greatness. So why can't we do that with Steph and Klay? When you look at their team right now, without any big name offensive stars, excluding Steph, only 2 players averaging double digits outside of Steph, somehow they still are tied for the best record in the league. And I'm not saying it's all Steph, but never get it twisted. He's always been the main ingredient. The Warriors right now are 5th in the league as far as 3-point percentage. But if you take Stephen Curry out, who shoots 13 threes per game, they're 14th. And honestly, that's being kind.
Right.
If I add context to even that stat, 14th in the league without Steph and all that.
Yeah, let's just for laughing sakes replace him with Kemba Walker. Let's not. I don't want to ever see those statistics.
Even that is misleading. 19% of their threes comes from open looks, which is second in the entire NBA. We know that stems from the ball movement they have and the defensive breakdowns
Double teaming
created by
Curry.
the threat of one Stephen Curry.
Yep.
So yeah, even that is false. They would not be 14th if you take Stephen Curry off that court. They just wouldn't be. Stephen Curry, even if he's unorthodox, even if it doesn't look like James Harden, LeBron, Paul George, whatever, he's proven his prime. It was more than him just being the head of a superior team. This man is goated, bro. Give him his credit.
Top
And
2-point guard of all
lastly,
time.
Ja Morant was clearly the best long-term option in that 2019 NBA draft class. Zion Williamson has played in a total of 85 games out of his possible 168. That's 50% of his games missed. It's kind of crazy because I was just telling y'all how crazy LeBron was with durability, and the person that's supposed to be the next LeBron, he already starting out the polar opposite. Michael Porter Jr., he literally missed an entire rookie season, and he damn near...
Man, I just gotta say about Zion. I mentioned another video already, but I really hope he just gets his body and mind right. Like, that's what's important. I think overall right now is like hopefully it's not just beyond like physical, because we all know, you know, what's the one dude like Caleb Swanigan or whatnot. Like, if your mind isn't right, then it could really affect your physical appearance and your ability to get back.
Gameplay percentage as Zion, and his contract
he's so good
is
too.
Starting to look a little
Zion,
maybe
not
a
Swanigan.
little bad already. Now, don't get me wrong, Zion, he's been dominant while there. Like, he's easily lived up to all the hype as far as potential. But I hate to sound cliche, the best ability is always going to be availability.
100%.
At the rate Zion is going at right now, I am not sure if he can last, bro. Like 3, 4, 5 seasons. And I'm talking about real seasons where he's playing 80 or 70 games plus.
You don't get credit for things you don't do.
Like that. I'm not sure if he can last. There were reports that this man was weighing somewhere around 315 pounds. And to be honest...
Yeah, like, let's put that into perspective. Let me just say something, and you all tell me what y'all think about this. 33-year-old Zion Williamson. I mean, do you see a 33-year-old Zion Williamson in the NBA? Like, something has to change for the longevity. Something.
Honest, I don't even need to see the report. If you watch that commercial that they keep airing every other commercial,
hashtag due day.
Every other commercial I keep seeing Zion Williamson and Zach LaVine. If you watch that commercial without knowing who those two guys were, no way possible would you think Zion Williamson is actively in the NBA. No way. Also, and I know there's
Nacho Cheese Doritos though, bro,
but
for sure.
With less talent,
Cool Range.
Ja Morant has already gotten his team to the playoffs once, and he went crazy in that series. He was one play-in game away from doing that same thing his rookie year, and this year he came back on a completely different level. Look at his production this year prior to his injury. It's a steady trend up, and his impact is evident. With Zion, I mean, it looks good when I see him, but I don't really see that high draft pick.
He look in shape right there.
Mainly, it's because he's barely there. Look at his peers. I mean, look at his fellow top 5-ish picks.
Bro, he looking
in
like
recent
really in
years.
shape in this one.
Look at how their franchises are changing, mainly because of those specific players. Luka Doncic, the theme of his career has been Luka needs more help. Yet we still see the fruits of his labor with back-to-back playoff appearances and their selection. We see the fruits of that selection as well because he's a clear, consistent superstar. Trae Young, Eastern Conference Finals.
They just can't win the big games yet.
DeAndre Ayton, the NBA Finals. LaMelo Ball, the culture is changing. Anthony Edwards, the same thing. So with Zion, he's good and his potential is there, but potential is just that, potential. I mean, it has to turn into production eventually. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys like this video.
All right, that is the end of it right there, man. Very good. Just a lot of just good talking points right here and whatnot, man. So yeah, link to Switch Out channel in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.